First question's from Kirsten Watson. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Sorry, we're about to go on the air, but just quickly, I know you made some roster moves today. What stands out to you about Mike Kickham?
He's a strike thrower. He's a veteran guy, been around. There's a cutter against lefties into righties. There's a changeup, and it's a sinker ball. So he'll change eye levels once in a while, but it's a 90-92 command guy. Sorry I was late, Kirsten.
Next question's from Dave Vassay. Go ahead.
Dave, with the 3 days off in the next 9 games, does that kind of help you guys to navigate through your 5th starter and maybe not need one?
It does, Dave. We're talking through it right now, but certainly there's potential weather in Chicago that first day, which could change things as well. But certainly with the off days looking out, 4-man could make sense. Absolutely.
And as far as Tony and David, where are they at? And do you believe that maybe at the end of this time period that they could be an option for you in some capacity?
I think certainly Tony, they're both progressing. The plan for us is to build Tony back up to being a starter. So you're talking 5 and 75 at the floor. And then David is coming along nicely, playing catch. So I still see him getting back with us when he's ready in the pen. But Tony is the guy that we're trying to build up.
Dave, how bad was his hamstring injury? Is it on the grade 1 side of it? Was it not as bad as what it could have been?
I think, don't quote me, but quote me, I think he was a grade 2, Dave. But he's, he's not trying to play center field. It's still feeling good. He doesn't feel it when he plays catch. So, the 4 to 6 week timeline, I think will be under that one.
Dave, last one. Do you believe you guys can find some pitching help outside the organization? It kind of feels like you've tapped almost everybody on your 40-man roster out.
Our baseball ops guys are always kind of looking for players, and certainly with what we've gone through, guys are coming back. Namely David, as we talked about, David and Tony. And Corey at some point, but they're always looking, so we'll see.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, what do you know about the logistics of getting Mike here? I mean, what options did you have?
Yeah, Jorge, I don't know. I do know he is here. It's probably been a long morning for him. So my only hope was that he would be here by game time, and that's I think that's the case.
And you guys placed the official wording for May for Dustin was still a right arm injury. Do you have any update, any more detail on what he's dealing with?
You know what? It's still sore. He's going to get an MRI when we get to Chicago tomorrow morning.
Okay. And then any update on Zach McKinstry? How's he doing?
So I don't think he's not taking at bats. I don't think he's swinging yet. Pain-free, as I understand it, but with the oblique, you still got to be cautious. So I still think it's kind of the 4-week kind of window is kind of where I see Zach.
And then Dave had mentioned kind of tapping into every resource you guys have with the bullpen. Do you know anything about Brandon Morrow? What's he up to?
Yeah, BMO just hasn't responded to treatment. So, he's I think he might be actually back home now or at the outside. I'm not sure, Jorge, but he's still kind of going through rehab.
So at this point, long term, maybe down the line, not anything anytime soon then.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question is from Dylan Hernandez. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Good morning.
It was.
Well, you seem to be in pretty good spirits. I was just kind of wondering. You still seem to be. I think you like hearing my voice. How are you kind of taking this period? I mean, are you at the staying up a little longer at night, extra glass of wine after the game? I mean, where are you kind of? How are you dealing with this stretch right now?
I'm dealing it. I'm day to day. No, you know what, Dylan, we're not hitting. Plain and simple. I think our starting pitching has been great. I think the bullpen has been fantastic, indicative of the last couple nights, guys stepping up. They've been pushed. We're gonna hit. We have very good players. It's magnified because it's 10 days in a 30-day sample of a season up to this point, but it'll correct itself. So I think for me is I still know we got good players and we're going to win a lot more than we're going to lose.
I think people kind of see, right, the end results of you guys winning the division every year, but you guys have had rough stretches before. From that, what have you kind of learned about maybe the energy that you have to kind of project, as your team's going through something like this?
I think for me, the coaches, it's our responsibility to project energy, positivity, and from your question, what we've learned is that the skid will turn, the bad times will turn, and it's a narrative right now which is real, but we still have a good club. So if the preparation, the intensity, the focus wasn't there, that's a different conversation, or the effort, but it clearly is still there.
Just on a slightly more serious note, it seems like Seager's having trouble getting to balls and stuff. And I know, like, we never thought he was like Ozzie Smith or anything, but I know, right, you guys have kind of helped him out with the positioning and stuff, which is kind of, right, maybe kind of covered a bit for his lack of range. And I'm just wondering right now when we kind of see this, like, because statistically even, right, the advanced metrics, they're down across the board. Is this his range getting diminished, or is it a positioning issue, do you think?
I know that the numbers, as far as kind of run saved or whatever are down. I do think that it's a small sample. I know that Corey expects to be better. He will be. I don't think it's positioning. I don't think it's focus on getting jumps on the baseball. Right now, it's just kind of one of those things. I think he's a plus defender at shortstop. He's shown it. And I think that there's some things that have happened, dropping of a ball. These are just kind of outliers that have kind of happened in this perfect storm of the last couple weeks. But I still believe that the numbers will kind of correct themselves as the season plays on.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, just to clear up a couple of details. Brandon Morrow has had a lot of physical issues in the last few years. Which one is he rehabbing?
You know what, Bill? I don't know that answer. I know that you are right. He has had a lot. I think it's the shoulder. I just would safe to say it's the arm and not be specific, but it's been a tough road for BMO and his family. So, I don't know if it's even going to be a play this year. So, obviously I'm hopeful. I hope it works out, but I just don't know.
And he's shut down, hasn't thrown in weeks?
I think that's the case.
Okay. With Tony Gonsolin, just trying to do the timeline, my math says 3 to 4 weeks is the quickest you could get him to 5 innings. Is that correct?
That's fair.
And would he do this at a minor league team?
Yes.
How soon do you think you could get there?
Well, I think that timeline is fair. I mean, I think that it depends on how he's feeling. I do know that the minor league season is going to start here soon, and kind of is in line with his progression.
Thank you, Dave.
You got it, Bill.
Got a couple more from Kirsten. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Yeah, just quickly, with the Brewers starting Alec Bettinger after placing Corbin Burns on IL, with the pitcher that you haven't, with him making his major league debut, what are the challenges of just game planning against someone you haven't seen much of?
It's interesting. I think that you don't know until you get in the box. There's intel that we get. He's going to have some emotions, and I think for us, I think we're going to have a chance to stress him early, and just kind of got to take advantage of it. Not afraid to run counts and make a young pitcher keep making pitches, which I think when we're good, we do that. Their bullpen is taxed too. So if we can kind of stress this guy, get in the pen, it should bode pretty well for us today.
And is there anyone in your bullpen that you kind of want to stay away from tonight? Or
There's a number of guys, Kirsten.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a long list.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Time for one more. Go ahead, Sarah.
Hey, Dave. So if the need does arise for a fifth starter, has Josiah Gray been discussed as a candidate at all, or is that a well that you would prefer not to go to?
We're just not there yet, Sarah. Obviously, he's our top prospect. We think very well of Josiah. So we're just not quite there yet.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.